things one can enjoy while fifth fighting. I should say fighting fifths. Here I found that this is probably fifth column headquarters. I think I saw Captain Fifth a second ago. But, well, regardless, no matter how I optimize my seating, it would be difficult to avoid being observed and ogled at by fifths or fifth officers. They may be called such. And so I'll just have to make do with this cryptic looking background. So basically, yeah, so the fifths, they're everywhere, you see. They look just like you and me, but they're not. They're clipped together like a tight oligarchy of some kind. They got special technology and information asymmetries going in their favor, and they're not letting go. They're using national security as the excuse for everything, you see. So with covert internet topologies as the sort of open source propaganda / espionage tool and weapon of sabotage as well, and all-purpose weapon and slush fund for information, for manipulation, for any type of crime, for anything they're doing anyway. It's their own private Craigslist. That's going on. Because it was created as a weapon of war, it's de facto that, whether you think it's being used that way on you or not. And so look at how the media is used on you. Look at how the various companies abuse you. Look how certain brokers of information over the internet, such as Google, look how they treat you, and Facebook, and so on. Look what you did to yourselves. Look how you treated yourselves. You're just begging for fifths to come and take you over. Fifth column came and took you over as a result of your duplicity, your dupes. How can you not be dupes? Now, I feel sorry for you because you've been hit by a weapon of war, but you're rolling over to it like dupes. It's Psy-war. And that's illegal. You should be up in arms about it. You should treat these people like they're from another fucking planet and defend yourselves, but you're cowards. You roll over, and then you try to look at me like I'm the bad guy. Go fuck yourself. If you're taking an attaboy or a payoff in any form from these creeps, then you're sucking dick. You're sucking albino dick in that prison movie where that crazy albino is all buff and kung fu'd out, and he's gonna like beat this guy into submission until he wants to suck his dick, till he prays to. You're that fucking creature in there if you're in on this, but you're a fucking dupe that's gonna suck his dick if you're duping over to it. And those are probably fifth column dupes right there. I'm gonna let it speak for itself. I wasn't born yesterday. What is this? Verona? Man, veranda? Yummy. I should have hit pause a few times, but fuck it. Probably a couple of fifths. Fifths come in all shapes and sizes these days. It could be fifths. Doesn't matter. At their age, they're just doofuses anyway. They'd be doofuses if they weren't fifths. You see how that works? So basically, the fiffthery of it overlays in a subtle form. Now, if they're complicit fifths, that's different. But if they're just basic dupes, then at their level of doofushood and youth, they're almost harmless compared to the people that pull the strings on this mechanism. They're not harmless. In fact, they're harmful, and they're often full of it. So having overtaken the institutions of authority and having subverted their purpose inverted their activities, and at the same time, I want to say subvert, but it's better to say they've assumed falsely the guise of virtue and carried as imposters the emblems of authority. It's that simple. They're just criminals in garb. I mean, it'd be literally just as much a crime if there really existed such authorities in the world, and then some criminals put together some garb and pretended really well so that they could pose as such, and then committed vast crimes, and then walked away and left the proper authorities to take the blame whenever these things came to light. That's how fucking wrong it is. They used to have some pretty disgusting sayings for how wrong that is involving church. So they're doing that, and they want everybody to lay down to it like disgusting little fish, flopping their last pathetic flops as they run out of breath. That's what they want. That's the only time they'll be satisfied, when they can feel the fucking fish flop, weakening to the point that they'll finally have the guts to put their fingers over the gills and finish them off with some evil squeezing that they like to do. It's like they're experimenting with evil. It's like they're not even sure they want to be evil, or so they're disgusting. So they're too squeamish to do anything about the evil being done, so they're fucking pathetic. I am enamored with some of their operations, assuming any reality to them, such as no stone unturned, whatever that one's called. That's the motto. Operation Scorpion Sting or some shit. But hey, good. Warms my heart if it's real. It's not a psyop, but they're still spinning it into psyops. They're going to use something they should be doing anyway, and probably a lot more, and a lot more thoroughly, as a part of a psyop to make people think the white hats exist. And then they're going to not go any further than that, because the power structure is sacrificing some people to the wolves and not others. That's what's going on. That's how it's going to go down. And then psychotronics is going to continue forward until it becomes a fucking gadget you can buy for your baby and put it in the crib. They'll have all the back doors, dumbasses. So that's why I'm saying there are ramifications, and they matter, and they need to be addressed vividly. There needs to be a cessation of about 40% of the population's activity by whatever means necessary. Just to bring that racket to a halt. Now, these are influential people. That will go on functioning. But their influence will be restricted by the fact that all their hands and feet got intercepted. But that presumes you can dupe all the way up. and they can't. There's a continuous chain of perfidy and corruption all the way down to the actors. It's a disgusting affair all the way. Till chubby punks who used to be bullied on a daily basis are now errand boys. Some ludicrous ass bullshit. It's faggotry is what it is. That's why some people lose their minds and do crazy things. They just get sick of it. But I have to ask myself, do any of them go for the right people? I'll never know, because the evidence has been totally scrubbed by people working directly or indirectly for those involved. They might have targeted innocent citizens and just framed it on a patsy. And these dumbasses probably believe it. Or be in on it. That's what I think of you. So yeah, fifth columnary all the way. Hoo hoo, yay. Through that you can have a bunch of patsies, dupes, fucking hooligan idiots, and doofuses everywhere. Congratulations, that's what your fifth columnary's got you. You're now a circus. But at the very least, you know, the covert internet topologies had to be developed to prevent, say, information like this from leaking broad spectrum. So total full spectrum dominance required that be taken care of in advance, and it was. They came up with that doctrine long before they announced it as any sort of military doctrine openly. People living in a graphic novel version of reality think that every document that's officially put out with a certain glamour actually reflects reality as it really is. So when the military talks about full spectrum dominance in the 90s, or even the 80s, it's not because they were doing it and thinking about it in the 40s and 50s. It's not because of that or anything. So now they're looking at weaponized cities called smart cities. They're hopeless. They're imprisoned in a rut of duplicity that is inescapable. But covert internet topologies are a big part of that. If the internet topologies were actually open, and it wasn't weaponized such as it is as a propaganda and surveillance tool, and a medium of exchange for various other crimes, then hell, who knows what could happen then. The chaos would be interesting to witness, but as it is now, everybody has their own version of anonymous without knowing it, for example. It's just a feedback loop for gathering information. The mindfuckery of a system like that is almost incalculable. Oh, hey, where did you find those at?
Just on the counter up there.
Oh, thank you. Hey, were you working here?
No.
Oh, okay, thanks. The mindfuckery is almost incalculable. When you consider that the vestiges of a human being's development as something that can stand up to something like this cease to exist almost in the womb at this point now, and that the only behavior which survives that's relevant to the discussion of that potential is what's programmed in psychotronically through fifth column operations, you realize how fucking mind-controlled people in society are. Any window dressing will buy you off as long as it doesn't directly involve being in that scene with the albino in that movie about being in prison.